2013. He's a World Open champion. He's a Moscone Cup champion also. Let's put our hands together for Mr. Shane Van Boning. And his opponent from Finland. He's sponsored by Mezcuse and Kamui. He has back-to-back U.S. 9-ball championships. He's a world 9-ball champion, a world 10-ball champion. He's placed second in this event in prior years. This year, he is being inducted into the BCA Hall of Fame. Let's put our hands together for Mr. Mika Immonen. Good luck, gentlemen.
All right, we have Tom Carabasso in the booth, going to keep you company, and Sean Wilkie's going to make his way over shortly, and these two guys will take the helm and call it as they see it. Tom Carabasso is very, very, very good at commentating, not only straight pool, probably everything in the world, right?
Oh, yeah, of course.
Of course, yeah, just comes natural.
Mr. Al, Upstate Al, I'd like to thank you for allowing me to do this.
My honor. Don't even mention it.
You got players like this, and it's just so special to be able to share whatever I see on any shots that might be of value. I went to Rockford and learned from the great Hall of Famer Dallas West, and I watched him run hundreds and hundreds every time I went to Rockford, which was once a week for 3 years. So I've seen masters at work, and we have two masters here today.
Absolutely.
One,
Absolutely.
Not so much straight pool, but, you can't say it to Johnny Archer, who got one shooting inning at the table and one safety inning. The last match was Shane Van Boning, 200 points. Shane was phenomenal. He got out in 2 shots. Mika played very well also. He won his last match. Who'd Mika play again?
It's a good question. Whoever he played, he beat because he's still in it.
Yeah, he beat Earl Strickland, I think.
We've been going all day, folks, since about 10 o'clock this morning.
Earl needed about half a dozen balls. He needed 8 or 7 balls, and Earl missed.
Maybe Gene will sit in for a couple of minutes until Sean Wilkie gets ready. We'll have Gene the man, who's been the working machine behind the scenes. And he's going to kindly sit in until Sean Wilkie actually makes his way over. Sean's busy. Megan put him on the job as she took a break.
We have a beautiful opening break here. Shane Van Boning's at the table with not a lot to look at. The only thing you can hope when somebody breaks perfectly like that and the balls come back together is that there's a dead ball in the rack. If there's not a dead ball, the safety is very hard to return. Let's see what Shane does. I think he's going to try to thin cut the 10 ball or maybe bank it and leave him on the rail. I can't see how much of the 10 he can actually see. If he can see half a ball, you just bank the 10 back into the bottom of the rack and leave the cue ball on the rail, go to the side rail first and leave him on the short rail below the rack. Either that or he's got to thin cut it and come back around the table. Looks like the thin cut. Nope. He tried to do what I was saying and barely got to the side rail, almost scratched, but that'll do the trick.
Right. Still recovering from the last match.
Yeah, just because you think you're in a tough spot, a lot of times you got to look for something simple to do. You're just hitting half a ball, slide into the side rail. Same thing here with Mika. You want to leave him down below the rack, but you really don't want to leave them straight into the rack because a lot of times you can just shoot that corner ball and stop and leave you in the rack. You'd rather leave them near the side, near the corner pockets, between the corner pocket and the first diamond on the short rail. This way he has to angle off the balls and he can't stick you into the bottom of the rack. Let's see what Shane notices here. Gene, how you doing tonight? You holding up okay?
Well, I mean, I don't know if you were counting misses on the lower right-hand corner in the last game. Call it the devil pocket. There were 8 missed balls
In the same pocket?
in the same pocket, and actually 7 misses and 1 misplay, which prolonged the game 45 minutes.
And just as I thought, Shane was able to return that safety easily and put him in a bad spot. Now balls are open, and it's a lot harder to play safety. And it's a lot harder to play safety against somebody like Shane Van Boning because he can make anything he can see. A lot of people said that Irving Crane was the greatest safety player in straight pool of all time. Well, I can tell you he was one of the greatest shot makers of all time because when you beat the guy to the shot, that means you got to shoot that shot.
Mm-hmm.
You're usually shooting a long shot, so that tells me he was a great shot maker. The great Deacon Irving Crane from Rochester, New York.
Greatest player I ever saw play. Thank goodness. I saw Mosconi play, but he was not competing at the time.
Oh, Crane was still playing with the best players in the world when he was 70 years old. He won a world championship, which is mind-boggling to me that he could do that with the caliber of play that he was playing against. A little bit of like a referee to check a shot because Mika's up close to the shot, and Shane wants a referee to make the call. And it's always best to get a referee involved when there's anything close.
And then, of course, Shane Van Boning's a different player, but when you think about referees and Mika, you think about Clifton in 2010 and the first Mike Siegel match, which should have had a referee at the table. And there was some counterclaims about whether Siegel fouled or not. Mika lost that one, came back, and 150 zip Siegel in the next match.
Yeah, and a lot of it was the fact that the rules in pool are kind of ambiguous when you're froze to an object ball. If you just hesitate the cue ball, sometimes they would call it a good hit. So, as many tournaments as Mike Siegel played, it's called both ways. It's called a foul if it goes past half the object ball in many instances. Other times it's not called a foul if you just hesitate the cue ball after you hit it, if you stop the cue ball with being jacked up. So Siegel, being a veteran, he's not going to ask what's a foul, and a referee can't even tell you before the match what a foul is. That's like coaching. So they kissed and made up after Mika ran out on him. He was okay.
Impractical in the round robin phases, but if it were economically possible, et cetera, would you prefer to have a referee now that we're in the final 16?
Absolutely. I think referees have a lot to do with the game. They rack the balls. Famous referee in straight pool was Cue Ball Kelly, back from this area, and all the players love getting Kelly as the referee. Mika was on a scratch, so Shane could have just tapped the cue ball and let him shoot. He decided to fire this cross side bank instead, but he somehow left Mika in the in the rack. Shane's not very shy. When you play 9-ball, you shoot a lot of bank shots and anything that's straight on, where you don't have to cut the ball too much. Comes up in 9-ball all the time. The off-angle banks, you shoot playing bank pool, but when you're playing 9-ball, it's pretty much straight shots where you're just cutting them a little bit. And these guys shoot so many of them, they get very good at the bank shots. Played Shane in the U.S. Open. I missed the 9-ball. I thought I had a chance because it bobbled the pocket, type pockets, and went to the first diamond. I left it the length of the table. He just fired the 9 straight back, stiffened it up, and proceeded to run the next 4 racks. So Banks is a definite part of 9-ball. You really don't see it that much in straight pool. Mika decided to take another scratch and go on 2, and see if Shane does something crazy again. You might as well until your opponent. A lot of times we think we're in a bad spot, so we automatically shoot at at a bad shot. But sometimes if you just take a scratch, see if your opponent does something wrong. Shane's he's not taking a scratch. He just knocked the ball to the rail.
Okay, so Mika took the 3rd foul.
Mika decided to take the 3rd foul rather than have him shoot a full rack. These matches are to 200 points. The winner of this match is in the Final 4. Very prestigious World Straight Pool Championships, and 16 balls is not a lot, for these guys to make up in one shot.
Yeah, Tony Robles took the 3 fouls in the preceding match, which I think was absolutely the right call.
Oh, he was beautiful, and he hit the break shot as good as you could hit it. The balls came back into the rack, and the 9-ball got dead in the corner pocket. If that 9-ball didn't get dead, I think Tony might have won that match.
That's right.
Handily.
Because at that point, Stalev needed 43 balls, nothing, right?
Yeah, and then he ran 2 racks off of that, where, if the ball didn't get dead, maybe it's Tony that runs the 2 racks and he's right back in the match. He was sitting at 105. Big difference if you're down 180 to 105, or you're down, by just 20 balls, 150 to 130. Here comes Mika's safe. Yeah, he hit it pretty good. He left Shane long. So, what do you think, Jane? I'd have to agree with Mika's logic here.
Absolutely.
The only thing is, a lot of times you're able to put the guy on 2 scratches and let him shoot from here, where you can't limits what you can do when you're on 2 scratches. You don't want to foul, take your 3rd scratch. So most of the time when you're in this predicament, when you take the 3 scratches, your opponent's usually on 2. But Shane is not on a foul. He drove the ball to the rail on his last safety play.
Do you go for this?
Shane is looking at it.
No, I said, do you go for this?
No, absolutely not. Unless I can shoot the billiard off the 15 into the object ball, then I go for it, because all you got to do is stop your cue ball. You're laying straight in. You shoot that object ball straight, it kisses off the 15, pockets the 5 ball, and you're in business.
Okay, there's that pocket from hanging up. I swear there's a squirrel in that pocket throwing balls out.
I think it's a gopher.
Gopher, okay, could be.
Straight from Caddyshack. That little gopher, we're going to throw some dynamite in there with Bill Murray, we'll call him. But it's funny like that. Dallas would tell me, man, if this pocket would get me if I missed the ball in a pocket. I'd remember if I missed the second ball, I'd get upset. I'd start playing position for that pocket. It was like me against that pocket. I'd shoot every ball in that pocket until I beat it back. Champion's mentality. Here comes Mika. His strategy worked. Let's see if he makes up the 18 balls. Yeah, I'd much rather be at the table down 18 against Shane than him at the table and even. Mika, is a very traditional straight pull player. He doesn't crash the break shots as much as some of these other players today. For a young player, he respects the break shot. He hits it with different speeds like your old timers and pick off at the rack rather than try to open them up on the first rack, on the first break. A lot of times you go ahead and shoot this 10 ball because when are you going to get position on it
Right.
again? You might as well get rid of it now. Came back, he's got a little problem on his short rail. He gets to break it up right now. You just want to split those two balls at a slow speed like that. You're going to get a shot at one of them. For sure, if you go into them at that speed, they'll end up in front of a pocket. You hit that shot hard, you might not have a shot at either ball. Or you say either. I'm from Chicago, I say either.
Wait a second, there's a song about that, but we're not going to sing. We just try to talk and tell you what's happening.
Yeah, if we were Filipino, I think we'd sing a little karaoke. I went to, I used to sponsor Rodolfo Luat, former world 9-ball champion, and Jose Perica, Francisco Bustamante would come to the pool rooms I owned in Chicago. Ephraim Reyes, Ephraim beat me so many sessions. I was his sparring partner. He loved me because I played every game good, but none of them good enough to beat him. So it was a little competition, a good warm-up. And all those guys would sing karaoke. Santos Sambayon, he's living in California right now. I went to him with him. I drove to the U.S. Open, 15-hour drive. He got a CD, Engelbert Humperdinck, and he played that CD till it wore out, and he sang along every note, and I'm listening to Cuando, 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 so he finally falls asleep, and I had the music on low, and I saw he fell asleep, so I'm wondering why he's not singing. He was sleeping, so I turned the music up. He woke up and he was singing. This is remarkable. He said you should have been a professional singer. But he wasn't that good. Not bad, though. Sing in the shower, that's what he should do. Mika's got 3 balls on the table. He's going to use the 3 to play position. On this shot, you can hit it with inside English, try to hold it, but this cloth is opening up, so I like spinning at 2 rails. It came a little short here.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
He'll be okay.
Not too bad. Not too bad. So he's about -4 right now. I believe it was a -18. If he ran 14, then he's at -3. -3. There we have it on your scoreboard. These guys are burning it up here, -3 to 0. I got a feeling we're going to see the score adding up by 14 very well. Mike Siegel told me one time I can count by 14. You can believe that. It was 14, 28, 42, 56, 70. Just kept going until they got to the 300s, and it was still no problem. Here you got a combination on the bottom rail. If you can get on the 2 ball, you might not have to break them up. The 1, you might be able to throw the 8 into the corner pocket that's furthest away here. Mika's got a long shot on the 3 ball. He can try kicking at this combo. I'm not sure if something in the rack is dead, but like I said, he's not hitting the break shot real hard, and sometimes, the balls get a little funny. I wouldn't expect this early in the match for the balls not to open up well because they're brand new, clean set of balls were put on the table right at the start of the match. He's going to shoot the 2-ball and break them up, but if you break them up, you don't have no insurance.
No.
So he's going to follow and try to go into the 2 balls on the bottom rail. If those balls were open, he would have went into the side of the rack. That's a little bad luck. He went rail first when he broke them up, so his cue ball didn't stay there. I'm surprised he didn't think about kicking at this ball in the corner pocket.
Yeah, he didn't give much consideration to that at all.
Yeah, at least you take a look at it. I know Shane will. The way it's laying in the pocket, you can get into the rail and not make it. If it was closer to the rail, it would be a hanger. These guys would make it every time. The reason he's not looking at the kick shot is because it's not quite deep enough in the pocket or close enough to the rail. If it was closer to the long rail,
right,
it'd be a nice kick shot. What he's doing here, he's thinking of cutting the ball into the combination. He's calling the 8-ball.
Mm-hmm.
I don't know. This is a tough cut. Your cue ball is going to be going.
No.
I'm surprised that he overcut that ball by a lot. He hit it so thin that the object ball proceeded to pocket very slowly. When you're shooting the ball backward cut 90 degrees, remember you're hitting the ball so thin, there's very little cue ball hitting the ball, but you gotta hit it hard to reach the pocket. Combination of the side of the rack. Those balls opened up a little better for Mika. So already Mika got more shots than Johnny Archer.
Right.
It's just luck of the draw sometimes. You don't get to shoot.
Well, his decision to take the 3 scratches is looking better and better as it goes along.
Oh, it sure is. So many players today don't remember the 3 scratch rule. Old-time players used to go to 3 scratches quite quickly, and when they were in a bad spot like Mika was. Also, a lot of people don't understand how important it is to take a 1-ball penalty when you're playing one pocket. You're in a bad spot behind a ball. The guy doesn't want to give up the ball, take the foul, and then he's got if he takes the foul, then he owes one, and you take a second foul. Usually you're not allowed more than 3. But, at least he's got to run more balls. And a lot of times they just play a safety on you and give you an opportunity to get out of a super trap.
Okay, so coming up to the broadcast booth is Sean Wilkie. And he is a veteran of the 3 hour 15-minute Jeanette Lee match. No, I'm going to just switch. I'm going to switch him over. Let's make it easy because I'm going to duck out. Sean is a veteran of a couple of long matches. We just came off of
11. I think Mika's at 11 before the rack started.
Right.
Or he will be after this rack, I should say. Right now the score is correct.
Okay. So let me turn over the mic to Sean Wilkie and thank Tom Karabatsos for his excellent company and constant great instruction.
Thanks, Gene.
Call a good game, guys.
Check, check.
Hi. Right now, Mika's on the break shot. Score is 11-0. Or is it 11? We
Right, I was standing over by the door and I saw that Mika took a 3 foul earlier in this match.
Yeah, he decided to take 3 fouls rather than let Shane Van Bowling shoot at an open table. And, we discussed how many players today forget to notice that 3 fouls. And it's only an 18-point penalty. At this level of play, 18 balls is not a lot.
Well, very true. It's only 1 rack plus 4, so I mean a lot of us can run 4 racks, which is 56 and above, so you can easily catch that up. I see what you're saying.
Yeah, I think you ran a few balls against me this tournament.
Who, me?
Yeah, you ran 84. I remember in Maryland. You ran about 80 balls on me over there, and I was fortunate to get a shot at 69 and out.
Yeah, you played very well to get out on me at that tournament. But like you said, it was a great match on both of our sides.
Yep, you got your revenge this time.
We ended up being in the same bracket this year, so I wouldn't call it revenge. I took my time, and luckily I got more balls than you did. But the sad thing is neither one of us qualified. So.
Yeah, that's horrible. 2 of the nicest guys in the tournament over here.
I know. You believe that? They're going to have to wait for us to come back next year. Are you coming to the American 14-1 this year, Tom?
Debating if I can get off a lot of work. We started a new company. I just got the patents on smart billiard lighting. Their lights, LED lights, give you a more even light across the field of the table. They drop down about 4% in intensity from the middle to the pockets, where most lights drop down about 40 to 50%. So it's beautiful lighting, and then we got cameras in the lights where you can live stream and watch on your handheld devices. And
oh wow, that sounds like a great idea.
Yeah, we just got the patent on Friday. I've been talking a little bit about it, but this is the first time I've announced anything to the world. We don't even have a website yet. It's going to be about 3 or 4 months before we actually have something manufactured for delivery. But the prototypes are all working real fine.
Sounds good.
We'll keep you updated.
Yeah, let me know if it takes off, because I might buy one for my personal house table.
Yeah, it's beautiful. You can stream out. People can watch you practice at home. If you're John Schmidt and you have it, people can watch you warm up. The guy runs like 8 or 10 hundreds in a day,
I know. We never get to see it on video. I'm sure we've seen a lot, but it would be nice to see multiple 200-ball runs from a single player or, a couple players in a row. That way you can learn about the game and see the correct shots to shoot and just the art of straight pull that a lot of people don't get to see.
Oh, he's such a great player too, and I've been telling people I don't think he knows how well he plays. He thinks his game goes down in tournaments, and it's just a different type. You don't get to shoot if you miss, and there's safeties involved that you really don't shoot when you're trying to put together high runs. So you just got to get in the right frame of mind a little bit, and I expect to see John Schmidt win a lot of these world straight pull championships.
Right.
But he's got to deal with some young lions coming up like Sean Wilkie.
Well, I'll give him my all. I'm definitely coming for a lot of these players. I really like the game too, like you said, but I know I have a lot of work to do, which I'll keep putting it in.
What's the farthest you've ever been to go play in a pool tournament?
To drive?
Or fly. Didn't you play overseas in the World Championships?
Yep, I went to the World Championships 2 years, couple years.
Where were they held?
Philippines twice, and then which was the World 10 ball. And then I went to the World 9 ball last year, which was in Qatar. And I also just had the experience of the China Open, which was very nice. My sponsors have been of some awesome help. Lucasi Hybrid has been there for me, and I really appreciate their help. go out there and promote them. It's the best thing I can do. And I just love the game. Even if I go out there and have a bomb in the tournament, but at least I'm out there playing against the best, and I'm trying to enjoy myself. Trying to win on top of it too, but if you don't have the love for the game while you're out there, you're just going to get too stressed out and all that. So
Yeah, you have love of the game. You have great respect. You're a gentleman at the table. And,
well, thank you, Tom.
it's great to see that in young players. Meanwhile, Shane and
Yeah, we've been in a
Mika
safety battle for like 10 minutes.
Just scratching and safety and back and forth.
Well, I know Mika just said Shane was on 2 fouls right before he kicked into the rail and made a good hit. The 9 ball hit the 3, of course, and it went to the side rail.
Shane's looking at a possible combo. He's got to throw it in. I guarantee you they're going to have a referee call the shot if he decides to shoot it.
Is he calling the 5 ball?
He's calling a 12 ball in the side pocket or just a 5 straight in. It looks like it might
This
have.
is touchy.
And you're jacked up over the whole rack.
Yeah.
A little bit of a sidearm stroke by Shane, if you take note of that.
Good shot.
Beautiful stroke. Yeah, a lot of times if you can't get all the way up, you put your arm a little bit sidearm to get above the ball. A lot of people don't realize that, and they get up on their tippy toes and get all off balance. And Shane is just such a smart player. His body position for different shots. If you can watch him shoot off the rail, how he squares up, how he hits the ball, what position his body's in, it's just,
Right.
I just know he studied that shot over and over.
Well, he either studied it or he figured it out
Practiced
at
it.
home and just burned it in on the table, which he definitely deserves everything he has. He's put tons of hours in the table. I remember in the Billiards Digest, I saw a picture of Shane at 3 years old, and he had a closed bridge. I mean, that's just amazing if you think about it. I couldn't even barely hold a cue until I was 7,
I was fortunate enough to play a lot with Ephraim Reyes when I lived in Chicago for about 5-6 months, back in the mid-'80s when he first came to this country. And Ephraim was playing a friend of mine, James Oswald, later on. And James was a young player. He had a lot of heart, couldn't play at all. So he'd get like the 2 out from these champions and, play with him for his lunch money.
Oh, okay.
And they respected him, but they would just torture him because they can play him safe and he couldn't kick. If you can't kick, these guys realize that they're just going to, Filipinos are just going to hide you behind the ball all day.
Yeah, just get ball in hand and take the easy way out.
So Efren ended up liking James a lot because he showed heart and, and he goes to James one day. He goes, James, when I'm 7 years old, I start playing pool. When I'm 9, I beat you.
Oh, really?
When I'm 10, nobody beat. So
Watch out,
Efren was
Q-ball.
a child prodigy over there. Efren was one of the best players in the world maybe when he was 10 years old.
Yeah, I truly believe that. He's actually one of my favorite players ever. I've learned a lot from watching videos of Efren. A lot of people say it's hard to watch him and learn, because he uses a lot of inside English, especially in rotation games. But if you learn it and burn it in and get used to the shot, it actually makes the game that much simpler. It's hard to say it that way, but it helps you to understand the physics behind the cue ball and what English actually does.
Yeah, Mosconi would call English a necessary evil. It's just something that you need to be able to use and to play at the top levels. But Efren told me one time, he said, everybody thinks I put a lot of English on the ball, but he stays pretty close to the center. It's the way he follows through that puts all the English on, a little twist in his stroke.
Right.
One way or the other as he's following through helps to put the English.
Yeah, that's kind of how mine is. Like, if you stay towards the middle and use a tip, maybe 2 tips at most, right or left, you can get tons of action with the cue ball. Like you're saying, you follow through smooth and accurate, you're going to get the spin.
Yeah, we're waking up a lot of people, around the country right now, but that's why we're here. You want to do a little commentary and help your game if we can.
Of course.
Mika has ball in hand.
Do you like shooting the ball on the rail, or do you just take the easy one, the 2 ball, and maybe try to come 2 rails and out, back out towards the middle of the table?
I think you have to shoot the ball on the rail here, but take your little angle.
Just stop it, play the 13 next.
Yeah, eventually you're going to have to shoot that shot
Okay.
just about. And, you know, you don't want to start out playing tentative. You get that ball in hand on that ball on the rail, you get to take the angle that you feel most comfortable with.
Right.
You know, and that's the only reason I recommend shooting the ball. The other ball sitting on the rail, I believe it's the 6 ball back in the corner. Now that one,
He didn't draw that far enough.
I would leave alone. I was surprised he didn't just stop his ball and shoot the 2 ball. But he's got half a pocket over here, it looks like. Or
A 9 ball.
yeah, I think he's got a pocket.
It would be really nice if that went by, because I'm sure he wasn't playing. He was probably playing to go a little bit farther up.
You know, he's got the 9 ball or 2. I'm surprised if he keeps leaving this 2. You know, you want to shoot it when you have balls to
Right.
fall on, because you can't always get, just right on a shot.
You can shoot the 2 and maybe come back where he's at, or you can shoot the 1 and bump the stripe towards the side, and then you'll have the 2 ball next.
Yeah, I think he's going to shoot the 2 and maybe go to the center of the table, or, just right back where you said. He's definitely looking at that 1 ball, and you should look at all angles, because a little bit of angle difference, cheating a pocket, you can do so much with the cue ball.
Yep.
You have to look things over. He didn't get on the 2 ball, so
Yeah, he needed to hit that stripe more full to stop the cue ball there.
He knows he didn't, so why waste time? Just go shoot that ball in the corner and.
Oh man, missed it.
Yep. I think
This is a shaky start for both players.
A lot of pressure.
Yeah, of course.
This tournament right now, it's at the stage where, you win this tournament, you're in the book.
Absolutely.
You're in the book forever. You're world straight pool champion.
You're on the trophy forever, too.
Right there with Ralph Greenleaf and Honor Fiore and
Yep.
Cyril Dion.
Mosconi, of course.
The first world champion in 1887.
It's an interesting stat. Thanks for that, Tom.
So, yeah, he's not the singer. That's Celine Dion. It's
Right. That would be a great accomplishment if a female athlete pool player could win this tournament.
It was funny. I brought a student with me to this tournament. He's been taking pool lessons from me, Kevin Dean, and he's so excited. And I gave Tony Robles a pointer, and he was hitting it good. And he said, "Man, you really helped this game." I go, "Well, you can give somebody the lyrics to a song, but that doesn't mean it's going to sound good when they sing."
Yeah, true.
Tony has a 5-octave stroke over there. He can play. So it's fun to show somebody like that, something, because
Absolutely.
they can execute so well.
Mm-hmm. All right, well, Shane's happy to be back at the table this rack. He's landed real good on this break ball. Cue ball is looking like it's going to go into the top of the stack.
And the match just getting started. We've had 3 fouls. We've had missed balls. We've had a lot of drama going on.
Yeah, we're going to have to check the score here after they put it up, because we really weren't counting the fouls. We'll figure out what it looks like here in a minute.
Yeah, they each had a couple fouls, I believe, but looks like it's 14-6. Mika's in the lead right now. But I hate to even say a player's at the lead when he's up 8 balls and the other guy's shooting this early in the match. It really doesn't matter who's up. Shane shot the break shot.
Cue ball didn't get froze to the stack, did it?
Yeah, it's near the stack, but I think he's got the ball in the side or this ball in the corner, so he's good. I don't know if he's going to go right back into the rack at a good speed.
That was a little dangerous.
Yeah, at that speed,
right.
You could have gotten another little nudge and ended up funny.
Really fortunate to get a shot on the 5 here. I've done that plenty of times home, practicing, just experimenting with things, and I jack up over top 2 balls. Can't get a bridge like he does, so sure he's happy to have this 5-ball on the side. Well, it looks like the 7-12 could possibly be a little tied up unless he can make it now.
Yeah, like right now when you're breaking up balls, you see there's very few clusters. You're not breaking 10 balls stuck together or a full rack of 14. So you really only have to pick them off and go into them lightly now. The shot that Shane shot earlier, there was a huge cluster of balls, and he really needed to go into them with more force to guarantee a shot.
Right.
So
I like to tell a lot of players why you have to go with more force is because the mass of the rack, you got 3 or 4 balls together in a line, and then there's possibly 2 lines there. So if you hit it, it's going to hit the first 2 balls, but the next 2 are going to slow everything down, which leaves the cue ball on top of the rack.
excellent point, Sean. Whenever you're hitting the rack full, Sean's telling you to go into it hard. And
right, basically like a stun shot, and then super hard in there. Because you're really taking a chance anyway, so you want to hit it and try to get away from the rack as much as possible.
Right now we got Shane shooting a combination, probably playing for the ball that's on the rail. He broke up 2 lower balls and has a perfect angle to go nudge the rack here.
Yeah, he can nudge the one either full or on the right a little bit, but you don't want to hit it too hard.
And the reason he's not shooting the ball that's the other ball first is because that's your protection, your insurance ball, possibly.
Oh, the ball's going in the corner, so he chose to go up above him, which is also okay. I'm sure Tom has mentioned a couple times that the balls are open. Most of the time you don't want to go back into them as long as it's feasible to, maneuver around the balls.
Yeah, it used to be fun to watch Mike Siegel play. He was such a good shot maker and position player that if the balls were open like this, he wasn't touching any balls.
Right.
He was just working his way around them and getting all the beautiful angles. Real hard act to follow those. It was hard to play like that. You had to be a great shot maker.
Of course, and your precise cue ball control is very key. I think it's just going to stun up and get the 11 ball off the rail now.
Yeah, he's finally going to get this ball off the rail. He's got a break shot out there. You need to probably play position for that ball that's on the rail too, at some point, or drop down below the ball that's on the short rail. Come up. He didn't get below it. He got a little straight, and he was trying to get the other angle, but he should have been trying to get below the ball. Easy for him to stun up, between the break shot and the 9.
Can't tell the angle he has. He might. Okay, he can stun up. Good shot.
Now here you can do 2 things. You can draw back and go 2 rails,
or
to
just
get
roll
on
it
a
in.
break shot, or just roll it in and go 1 rail across the table. These shots are a matter of preference.
I'm not sure if he got there.
Came up short there.
Wow.
He's afraid to get too much angle, and he didn't draw far enough.
He just pointed below the 3 that he should have just rolled it in and took the angle to go across. The only bad thing about that is when you do come across, you're coming across the angle of the 3, which a lot of players don't like to do. So that's probably why he tried to draw above it.
Yeah, I recommend drawing and going 2 rails just for that reason, Sean. Excellent point.
Well, obviously, if you can't see the 8, the 3 ball don't go.
Shooting combination or playing some kind of save.
This is a tough shot if he plays this combo. The 8 ball's so far from the pocket.
He called the 8 ball. Not traditional straight pull shot here. How'd he hit it?
Good shot.
Mr. Shane Van Boning, ladies and gentlemen.
Looking at it, if he has a slight angle, the most thing he can do is draw into the side of the rack and maybe pull up a hair towards middle table. I don't know if he'll get it too much out of the rack here.
You either draw, depending where you hit it, or you.
Can he follow 2 rails?
No, I don't think so. I think he's in the hands of the pool guys here. You just draw, try to glance off the rack. If you hit it full, you better draw it as warp speed to get a shot. That was kind of warp speed there, and
It worked out for him.
you know,
The only thing is, I don't see an easy secondary breakout here.
no.
Obviously, he has a shot on the 4, but the angle to get to the 11 to get back into the rack is very, very tough from what I see.
I would go 2 rails with inside English and play for the ball in the side pocket. You know, get to the opposite
Okay.
side and it puts you in a good position.
That's a great option because then you can draw into the top of the rack with some speed and break some balls out.
Or you got to go into those 2 balls that are at the side of the rack. You want to hit the top ball, and then you might get a shot, you know, at the break ball here.
True.
You know, and these shots are a matter of preference. Would you rather draw it back, or would you rather go forward?
That's a great shot
Or
there.
would you rather hit it like a maniac and just break a ball? I'm telling you, this Shane is something else to watch play straight pool.
Yeah, it's definitely unorthodox when it comes to legendary straight pull players, but you know,
Very,
like
very
you said,
effective.
he understands the cue ball and the English of the cue ball so well. He knew if he can get into the middle of that rack with, he probably had a little bit of high right on that. It's definitely coming through and has English on it. So as long as the cue ball is spinning, it's hard to get stuck on the ball if you naturally have it spinning.
Oh, Dallas West taught me that years ago. He said you want something on the cue ball when you're going into the balls, a little bit of English that spins off of them.
Right.
You know, great point, Sean. You had good teachers.
Yeah, well,
good
I've watched a couple
schooling.
videos, and I noticed John Schmidt, for instance, when he has those steep break shots, he also uses a little bit of high inside sometimes, as long as you're comfortable with that shot. So when it hits, if another ball comes and tries to tie up on it, it just bumps it a little bit away, and you have multiple shots. And, of course, you know,